Friends, leaders, dreamers, I want to talk to you today about a powerful force, a divine principle woven into the very fabric of creation. I want to talk about a title many of you are familiar with, but perhaps have not understood its true spiritual dimension. The grind doesn't stop. Now, when you hear that, you might think of long hours, of sleepless nights, of relentless hustle. You might picture exhaustion as a badge of honor, but I am here to challenge that perception. The world's grind is often an endless cycle of activity without purpose, a hamster wheel leading to a destination of burnout. But I submit to you that the true grind, the one assigned to you by your Creator, is of a different nature entirely. Look at nature. Does the sun ever stop shining? It is grinding. Does the moon ever stop governing the tides? It is grinding. Does the seed buried in the darkness ever stop pushing toward the soil surface? It is grinding. This is not the grind of fatigue, it is the grind of function. It is the consistent, unwavering expression of a thing's inherent purpose. You see, your grind is not about what you do. Your grind is about who you were designed to be. The reason the world's grind leads to emptiness is because it is focused on activity. But the kingdom's grind, the divine assignment, is about identity. So why doesn't the true grind stop? First, because purpose is not a destination, it is a journey. You do not wake up one day and arrive at your purpose. You wake up every day to express it, to live it, to unfold it, unfold it. A river does not stop flowing once it passes a beautiful tree. It continues its course to the ocean. Your grind does not stop because your purpose is not a single event. It is a constant, flowing expression of the potential deep within you. The moment you stop grinding is the moment you stop fulfilling the reason for your existence. Second, your potential is a treasure that demands constant pursuit. Buried within you is a gold mine of ideas, creativity, solutions, and genius. But gold does not jump out of the ground. It must be sought after. It requires digging, drilling, and refining. The grind doesn't stop because the excavation of your potential is a lifelong process. Every challenge, every setback, every long night is not a punishment. It is a drill bit breaking through another layer of rock to get to the treasure you carry inside. To stop the grind is to abandon the mine and die with the gold still in the ground. Third, the vision is always bigger than you. The dream placed in your spirit, the solution you are called to provide, the nation you are destined to influence, it is always larger than your current capacity. It is designed that way. If you could accomplish it in a year, it would not be a God-sized vision. The grind doesn't stop because the vision is perpetually pulling you forward, calling you upward, demanding growth, stretching your faith, and expanding your character. The grind is the process of you becoming the person capable of managing the vision you have seen. So I declare to you today, stop associating the grind with exhaustion and start recognizing it as your sacred rhythm. It is the constant hum of your engine of purpose. It is the daily discipline of a farmer who tends the fields, not just on the day of harvest, but every single day, in season and out of season. The world has sold us a dangerous and exhausting lie. It has told us that the grind is about the relentless hustle, the sleepless nights, the frantic activity that leaves us drained and empty. We wear our fatigue as a badge of honor, believing that the sheer volume of our motion is equivalent to the significance of our progress. But this is a corruption of a sacred principle. You must understand that the true grind, the one assigned to you by your Creator, is not fundamentally about what you do. It is about who you were designed to be. This is the critical shift in perspective that changes everything. When you confuse activity for purpose, you end up on a hamster wheel, running with immense energy but going absolutely nowhere, destined for a destination called burnout. The world's grind is an endless cycle of tasks, without a telos, a purpose, a final cause. It is motion without meaning. But look at the natural world, which is a physical manifestation of spiritual principles. Does the sun ever stop shining? It is engaged in a perpetual grind. But its grind is not a struggle. It is the consistent, unwavering expression of its nature. It shines because it is light. Does the moon cease its gravitational pull on the tides? It is grinding, but its grind is the fulfillment of its function to govern. Does a seed buried in the cold, dark soil ever stop pushing its shoot toward the surface? It is in a state of constant grind. But this grind is not an aimless struggle. It is the innate, programmed expression of its potential to become a tree. This is the grind of function. This is the divine model. Your true grind, therefore, is the consistent daily outworking of your inherent identity. It is the process of your being aligned with its intended purpose. When you are living in this truth, your work is no longer a separate draining activity you must endure to make a living. It becomes the very channel through which your life finds its meaning and expression. An eagle does not grind to fly. It flies because it is an eagle. The flying is the grind, but it is a grind that is synonymous with its identity. When you discover who you are, the unique solution you are designed to be, the specific problem you are built to solve, the energy that was once spent on frantic activity is redirected into focused expression. The exhaustion that comes from the world's grind is the exhaustion of dissonance, of trying to be something you are not. The fulfillment that comes from the divine grind is the energy of alignment, of behaving in accordance with your design. This is why you can see two people performing the exact same task, and one is drained by it while the other is energized by it. The difference is not in the activity itself, but in whether that activity is an expression of their core purpose. For one, it is a job. For the other, it is a calling. For one, it is a meaningless chore. For the other, it is a meaningful contribution. So when we say the grind doesn't stop, we are not advocating for a life of unsustainable toil. We are proclaiming the truth that your purpose is not a weekend hobby or a seasonal project. It is the continuous thread that weaves through every moment of your existence. It is the lens through which you view your family, your work, your community, and your dreams. To stop this kind of grind is to stop being yourself. It is to silence the song you were born to sing and to hide the light you were destined to shine. The grind doesn't stop because your reason for being is as constant as the shining sun and as persistent as the growing sun. The prevailing misconception about purpose is that it is a finish line, a distant city on a map that you finally arrive at after a long and arduous journey. We speak of finding our purpose as if it is a lost object, and once discovered, the search is over and we can rest. This is a fundamental error that neutralizes potential and leads to profound disappointment. Purpose is not a destination you reach. It is the very path you walk. It is not a single event, but the continuum of your existence. Consider the nature of a river. Its purpose is not merely to reach the ocean. If that were the case, the moment it emptied into the vast sea, its existence would be rendered complete and therefore finished. But the river's purpose is far greater. It is to flow. It is in the flowing that it provides life, that it carves canyons, that it generates power, and that it fulfills its role in the hydrological cycle. The journey is the fulfillment. In the same way, you do not wake up one day and simply arrive at your purpose. You awaken each day to express it, to unfold it, to live it out in the context of the new challenges and opportunities that morning presents. Your purpose is a living, breathing, dynamic force within you, and it requires constant engagement. It is not a static title you acquire or a financial milestone you hit. It is the consistent manifestation of the potential deposited within you. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment you stop growing, and consequently, the moment you cease to truly live in your purpose. This is why the grind does not stop. The grind is the flow of the river. It is the daily, sometimes mundane, commitment to expressing that core reason for your being. A musician's purpose is not simply to record one perfect song. It is to live a life immersed in and expressed through music, composing, practicing, performing, and letting melody inform their perception of the world. A teacher's purpose is not confined to the classroom between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. It is the relentless pursuit of igniting understanding, a drive that influences every interaction. This understanding liberates you from the frustration of not having made it. You are already on the path. The very fact that you are seeking, striving, and pushing forward is evidence that you are already engaged in the process of purpose. The long hours you invest are not just a means to an end. They are the sacred space where your purpose is being sculpted and revealed. The challenges you face are not obstacles blocking you from your purpose. They are the very terrain through which your purpose is being navigated and realized. They build the strength, wisdom, and character necessary to carry the weight of your destiny. Therefore, to stop the grind is to dam the river of your potential. It is to accept a stagnant existence where the water grows still and stale. The divine assignment on your life is a perpetual call to movement, to growth, to expression. Rest. It is an endless unfolding, a continuous revelation of deeper layers and greater capacities. The journey itself is the destination, and the faithful, consistent grind is the proof that you are alive to the call, actively participating in the magnificent and ongoing process of becoming who you were created to be. The greatest tragedy is not a life of poverty, but a life of buried treasure. Within you right now lies a wealth of unimaginable potential. Ideas, creativity, solutions, and a unique genius that the world has never seen and is desperately waiting for. But this potential is not lying on the surface, readily available for the taking. It is a deep and rich vein of gold buried deep beneath the layers of your fears, your past experiences, societal expectations, and your own self-imposed limitations. This is a crucial truth that must be understood. Potential is not the same as possession. Just because you have, it does not mean you own its expression. The gold is in the ground, but it has no value to you or the world until it is mined, refined, and brought into the light. This process of excavation is what the world mistakenly calls the grind, but in the economy of purpose, it is the sacred and non-negotiable process of discovery. The challenges you face, the long nights of study, the repeated failures, the relentless practice, these are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are the clear and undeniable evidence that you are on the right one. They are the sound of the drill bit breaking through rock, the dynamite blast shattering the bedrock of mediocrity, the slow and patient sifting of soil to find the nuggets of your genius. Every obstacle you overcome is not a barrier to your destiny. It is a necessary step in the mining operation of your life. It is removing another layer of earth that separates you from the treasure you carry. When you feel the pressure, when the work feels difficult and relentless, you must change your perspective. You are not being punished, you are being processed. The refiner's fire is not meant to destroy the gold, but to purify it, to separate it from the dross and the impurities, so that what remains is of the highest value and quality. Your grind is that refining fire. It is burning away the doubt, the procrastination, the shallow thinking, and the fear of man, leaving behind the pure, unadulterated essence of your gift. To abandon the grind at the first sign of resistance is to walk away from the mine with the gold still in the ground. It is to die a multimillionaire in potential, but a pauper in manifestation. The world is filled with people who possessed incredible talent, but lacked the will to dig, who had a brilliant idea, but were unwilling to endure the discomfort of bringing it to life. Your persistence is the one factor that separates a buried treasure from a revealed legacy. The grind doesn't stop because the excavation is never fully complete. Just when you think you have uncovered all your talent, a new challenge will reveal a deeper capacity for resilience you never knew you had. Just when you master one skill, you will discover an adjacent area of genius waiting to be developed. The mine of your potential is bottomless, and the process of digging is the very thing that expands its borders. Therefore, embrace the grind, not as your enemy, but as your partner in discovery. It is the faithful tool in the hands of your purpose, tirelessly working to uncover the hidden wealth within you, ensuring that you do not leave this earth with your music still trapped inside the instrument of your life. The vision placed within your spirit is not a small, manageable thing. It is not a target you can easily hit with your current resources, your current skill set, or your current level of character. If it were, it would be an insult to your capacity and a misunderstanding of the divine nature of purpose. A true God-given vision is always, by its very design, larger than you are. It is a glimpse of a future reality that you are called to build, but it demands that you become a different person in order to see it through. This is the profound reason grind cannot stop. The relentless pursuit is not about the task itself. It is about you. The vision acts as a perpetual pull, a constant gravitational force that draws you upward and forward, compelling you to grow into the person capable of managing the dream you have been shown. The gap between where you are and where the vision exists is not empty space. It is a classroom. It is a training ground meticulously designed for your development. The long hours are not just about productivity. They are forging within you a discipline you did not possess. The rejections are not just obstacles, they are building a resilience that your previously fragile ego could not withstand. The problems you are forced to solve are not mere inconveniences. They are expanding your cognitive capacity and creative thinking. The vision requires a leader, and the grind is the leadership academy. You cannot steward a multinational enterprise with the mindset of a solo entrepreneur. You cannot influence a nation with the character of someone who struggles to lead their own household. The vision is a mirror showing you the person you are not yet but are destined to become. Therefore, the grind is the process of that becoming. It is the daily, sometimes painful chiseling away of the old you to reveal the leader, the innovator, the visionary that the dream requires. When you feel stretched beyond your limits, it is because the vision is stretching you. Your current capabilities are too small a container for the future it holds, so the pressure you feel is the necessary expansion of your soul, your mind, and your faith. This is why you can never be complacent. The moment you believe you have learned enough or grown enough, the vision will reveal a new layer of complexity that demands more from you. It calls for greater integrity, deeper compassion, sharper wisdom, and more courageous faith. The finish line keeps moving, not to frustrate you, but to continuously develop you. The purpose of the vision is not just the transformation of a circumstance or a community. Its primary purpose is your own transformation. The mountain is climbed not just to plant a flag at the summit, but to strengthen the legs, lungs, and heart of the climber. The grind does not stop because the vision is a living thing, and it will never cease calling you to higher ground, to deeper understanding, and to a greater version of yourself. To abandon the grind is to reject the transformation, to choose to remain the small you for a small dream, thereby allowing the grand vision to die stillborn. The relentless pursuit is your yes to the process of becoming. The world has taught us to see work and rest as opposing forces, locked in an eternal battle where one must inevitably deplete the other. We operate on a dangerous assumption that the grind is a season of draining exertion and rest is the complete cessation of all activity in a distant retreat. This cyclical pattern of burnout and recovery is a symptom of a life lived out of alignment. But when your work is the authentic expression of your purpose, a profound shift occurs. The very definition of rest is transformed. It is no longer an escape from your purpose, but a deepening into it. This is the secret to a sustainable, lifelong grind. You do not need to stop being who you are to recover. A river does not cease to be a river when it flows calmly through a wide plain. That calm stretch is part of its journey to the sea. The eagle soaring on a thermal current is not inactive. It is resting in its flight, using the wind to sustain its journey. In the same way, your moments of reflection, your quiet contemplation, your Sabbath are not a negation of the grind. They are the moments you allow the winds of purpose to lift you, to carry you, to renew your strength from a source deeper than your own willpower. This kind of rest is active receptivity. It is not the absence of activity, but the presence of a different kind of energy, the energy of connection, realignment, and inspiration. It is in these moments of quiet engagement with your core identity that you receive the blueprints for the next phase of construction. The ideas that come in the shower, the solutions that arise during a walk in nature, the clarity that dawns after a good night's sleep. This is not an interruption of the grind. This is the grind operating at a more profound and spiritual level. This is where you tap into the limitless resource of divine wisdom, rather than relying solely on the finite resource of your own frantic effort. When you understand this, you break the destructive cycle of hustle and collapse. Your work becomes infused with a sense of peace because you are no longer the sole source of the energy required to sustain it. You are a channel. The pressure is off. You learn to operate from a place of overflow, not from a place of depletion. The grind, therefore, becomes a rhythm, not a relentless pounding. It has its seasons of intense, focused output and its seasons of quiet, receptive renewal. Both are sacred. Both are essential. Both are part of the flow. To rest in the grind is to find the still point in the turning world. It is to discover a sanctuary within your own calling. It is the deep inner conviction that you are exactly where you are meant to be, doing what you were designed to do, and that the same force that gave you the vision is also providing the strength for the journey. This is how you can keep going when others give up. This is how your passion does not consume you, but instead fuels you. You are not running on a battery that must be recharged from an external source. You are plugged into the eternal power source of your purpose. The grind doesn't stop because this divine current never stops flowing. Your sacred task is simply to remain connected, to find your rest within its endless sustaining energy, and to let your life be the brilliant, unwavering light that it was always meant to be.